This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. Harry Giles scored a career-high 20 points to lead the Kings to a 135-113 win over the Atlanta Hawks last night. The Kings get today and tomorrow off. They host the 76ers on Saturday. Elsewhere in the NBA last night, it was the Celtics blowing out the Hornets 126-94. The Bulls got win number 12 on the season, a 105-89 win over the Miami Heat. Dennis Smith Jr. had a triple-double in the Mavs 114-90 rout of the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. The Wizards smashed the Pacers 107-89. Karl Anthony Towns has hit a buzzer beater to lift the Timberwolves over the Grizzlies 99-97. The Nuggets got past the Pelicans 105-99, and the Blazers were all over the Jazz 132-105. It's 7:04. Plan now to watch the big game at Sammy's Restaurant, the best food and drink inside Stone's Gambling Hall, I-80 at Antelope Road. Those are your top stories, and now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Hooked away by Belly. A behind the back flip from Giles to Belly. Back to Giles. He goes with a left-hand hook and scores. And that's one of the prettiest sequences we've seen this entire season. Kings fans, many of them coming immediately out of their seats to their feet. 92-65 ahead to Giles. There's a new career scoring high for Harry Giles on a perfectly executed pass that time from De'Aaron Fox, who's been struggling with some of his passes tonight. 16 now for Harry Giles. Bagley has it against Turner. Quick spin, baseline left, up and under reverse. Stick it! Oh my goodness, the quick bounce after he made the spin move. I had no idea he could get above the iron that quickly off of that particular move. He ripped it home. That was pretty impressive, too.
Got a lot of people rolling in thinking they know what I said. When I said I'd sleep on the roof at some point, depending on the Kings' win total. I have everything. This is why I don't trust the listeners. One guy says, you said 25 games and you'd sleep on the roof. Most people are saying anything from 32 games, 30 games, and I'd sleep on the roof. If the Kings made the playoffs, I'd sleep on the roof. Well, we have to find it out because I want to pay that off. To not pay off that bet would be cheeks.
I think you may have said that you would sleep on the roof when I said that they're a playoff team.
You mean just a couple months ago?
Yeah.
No, I said this before this. I do know I said it before the season started, and I was very pessimistic. And I said something like, if the Kings end up winning, I'll sleep on the roof. Big, hot sports donkey guy take. That's what we do.
See, but I feel like you wouldn't have said that for 35 wins because you're not going to celebrate 35.
Right.
You wouldn't be super stuck.
I was really down. I really did think this team, I believe my prediction was 20 to 25 wins this year for the Kings, including a 3-17 start. That's the worst part of sports talk radio is when if you're a host or a contributor, whatever it is, and you want to shoot your mouth off, which is our job. Our job is to predict. Our job is to put it out there. It's like baseball umpires, man. Nobody remembers the good calls, but you remember the bad calls. And god dang if I'm not happy to be wrong. I've said that all year long. That's the greatest. I love it. Please continue to prove me wrong. And with last night's win, the Kings hit the over for almost every Vegas preseason win total prediction. Almost every single one was either 24 or 25 and a half.
Would they win 28 all last year?
I believe you are correct. I'll tell you one blind optimist challenge Matt George is going to win. I don't even like saying this, man, because then watch the Kings lose every game the rest of the year. But Matt George said that the Kings will win more games this year. One of his challenges, the Kings will win more games this year than they ever won with DeMarcus Cousins. And I believe that number was 32. Well, that we can definitely look up. By the way, Kyle, last year the Kings won 27 games. The Kings were 27-55 last season. They are right now 26 and 25. What a difference a year makes. And when you take a look at this team, it really, I think the thing I'm most amazed about this year is not the criticism of the team or moves or non-moves or who starts or who sits. Because in the course of a season, the team could be 40 and 11. There's going to be little micro criticisms that are totally necessary. I get it.
There is a contingent of Warriors fans who wants to fire Steve Kerr.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
Who are these people?
Like, that is a real thing. So just so people know, this isn't an exclusive Kings fan thing to criticize a team that's doing well.
You know what would be a really interesting exercise, Kyle? And we don't have the time to do it, so maybe somebody out there could do it or we can do it after the show. But are the Kings in the middle of the biggest turnaround in the NBA thus far this season? In other words, what I'm saying is that if you look at their final win percentage, every team's final win percentage from last year, and you look at their current winning percentage today, I wonder if the Kings have the biggest.
It would probably have to be. The Nets?
Let's see. The Nets last year won 34% of their games.
Okay.
And the Kings won 32 let's call it 33%. So 33 and 34. The Nets, as of right now, are sitting at, well, maybe you're right. Yeah, 538 versus the Kings at 510.
What an idiot.
Wow. Well, you just screwed up that whole segment. Thanks, Kyle. I guess the Kings aren't that good. Okay, so does that give them the second biggest jump?
Has to be.
Although Denver's at 700 right now. Here's my point that I'm really doing a great job at destroying. Here's my point.
Denver was a win away from the playoffs.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were, Kyle. It's simply, I'm okay with the micro criticisms, but how can you look? Did anyone expect this? Only the blindest of blind Kings fans would have said preseason that they would be 500 or better come February.
Well, and the anybody who said that, Matt George, their reasoning behind it was just, and that was a joke. Matt had his thoughts and, had it laid out. But people who were crazy optimistic, people that called this show, were like, I don't know, man, you just got to have faith.
Right.
If that was your reasoning behind it,
you gotta have faith. And it's like
it's defying all. It's defying. I don't want to say defying all logic, but the turnaround Buddy Hield has had and his ability to now create his own offense, has been gargantuan. De'Aaron Fox made a jump that very few players make between year one and year two.
Yep.
Like, the talent was there last year. You could see it. But this, hey, this is a future MVP candidate, was not on the radar really last year.
Cauley-Stein's having a better season this year than he did last year.
Yep.
He has improved every single year he's been in the league. Now, you can be happy or sad with how he does, and there are plenty of criticisms, and you've heard many of them on the show, but you have to be fair. He has increased his productivity every single year he's been in the league, including this one.
Yes.
So
Justin Jackson
showing up.
Nemanja Bjelica has been excellent. Iman Shumpert has been. I don't think anyone expected Iman Shumpert to play minutes.
I didn't expect Iman Shumpert to be on the team.
Yeah, and these are all really solid contributors.
Shout out to Zach Randolph, by the way, for being like the most model citizen possible. I understand the thought is like, well, he's getting paid $13 million to sit on the bench, Dave. Of course he's going to be a model citizen. That's not how it works in the NBA and professional sports. I think this team being above 500 in February is a bigger thing to talk about than their win over the Atlanta Hawks last night. And that was a great win. That was a fun win. But they're 26 and 25, and they've played a tough schedule.
What would, if I had said, we got a break. I'm not getting into it.
We got a break.
If I had said we got a break, I want you to think about some scenarios at the break that we can get to at 7:30. I want you to think about some scenarios where if I had told you before the season, hey, the Kings are going to be a game over 500 going into February, what would you have thought? If I said,
would have asked you who they traded for.
Okay.
By the way, the Sacramento Kings, the 8th toughest schedule in the NBA as of today, in case you were wondering. They're a game over 500, and they have a top 8 toughest schedule in the NBA. 4-down territory is next. Super Bowl food, commercials, and gambling. It's a perfect 4-down territory. Kings versus Hawks, we'll get into this more at 7:35. We're going to ask you, what's the biggest surprise? Or what's the biggest surprise the Kings have given you this year? Sam Amick at 8:05. The drive continues. Sports 1140 KHTK. Four-down territory.
4-down territory.
I like it when you do it. Brought to you by Fire Wings.
It's just kind of like, it's like if Terrence and Phillip were sick.
Brought to you by Fire Wings.
Brought to you by Fire Wings.
Brought to you by Fire Wings, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
21 different flavors to choose from. Good fade.
Thanks.
Firewings.com. Just wing it. First down, Kyle.
I got the hand motions of just wing it.
Just wing it. I'll be eating at Fire Wings today.
Oh, hey, sick invite.
Actually asked if you could go.
No, you didn't.
I swear
You
on my
did
kids'
not.
lives I did. I'll never lie when I say that. I'm too superstitious.
You're lying.
I will never lie when I say that.
When did you ask?
I asked yesterday.
Liar.
I swear to God
You didn't, because I would have been like, I'm in there.
I didn't ask you. I asked Scott, the rep.
Cool. Thanks for inviting me. Sick invite of me.
Want me to call him and prove it?
No,
And then you can't
I'm
ever
guessing
doubt
that
me again.
that you asked Scott, but I obviously implied that you did not invite me.
Well, I invited.
And the fact you can't pick up on that social cue is very tough. It's very tough.
I asked if you could go.
Basic conversation.
It's not my call. It's his call. But apparently we're having a meeting today about you.
Oh, you asked him if I could.
Yes. I said, can Kyle go? I said, is Kyle coming? Can we invite him? And he said, let's just make it the three of us today.
Oh, okay.
Because we're talking about
Sure.
Kyle. We're talking about you about the thing with the deal.
Right, yeah, with the thing. I just got a text from our rep.
Did he back me up?
Yeah, he said he did.
Thank you.
I misunderstood what
That's
you were
okay.
saying.
Your apology's accepted.
I thought you were doing the classic Dave thing of like, I invited someone else.
I've told my wife for 12 years now, if she ever wants to make sure I tell the truth 100% of the time, ask me to swear on the kids. I physically, did you ever see Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Probably not. When
I was very small.
When they did the shave and the haircut and he busts through the wall and says 2 bits, I can't lie when I swear on my kids. I can't do it. I'm too superstitious. I will never lie.
Yes.
She still doesn't
same.
use that. Why would you swear on my kids, Kyle?
I'm like, I swear on Dave's kids.
First down.
What is your go-to Super Bowl party food?
That's
we got to
a good
go
question.
through these quick.
Good question, Kyle. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
I got it. There's a lot of go-tos, man. There's the queso in the crock pot, the meatballs in the crock pot. There's jalapeno poppers. There's the salamis with the. I would say the go-to though, the thing I gotta have is deviled eggs. Deviled eggs. I make all kinds of deviled eggs. A lot of people think, well, deviled egg with some paprika on it. No. I make some with bacon on it, some with jalapenos on it, some with pickles on it, and all that. It's a weird year this year because I'm living in. Usually, I host a Super Bowl party.
Right.
I'm living in an Airbnb this year, and my wife's going down to L.A. this weekend to take care of family business, and so it's going to be myself and the kids going to a friend's house. So I got to make everything. I have to make things.
Right.
I'm going to be transporting coolers of stuff over there. I don't know how good they're going to turn out, but at least I'll make up my house, because one thing about making deviled eggs is your whole house smells like farts for like a day and a half. It's true.
That's
story.
how your house smells, anyways.
That's a good point right there. You go-to food?
Chips and guac or chips and salsa, just because that's, I know, but it's there every time. You everything you mentioned we've had at some point. We do like barbecue, different kinds of barbecue things, but chips and salsa or chips and guac or any kind of chips and dip are always on the table.
Gotta have it there.
And that's the go-to.
Second,
that's the consistent one.
Second down.
Second down.
What Super Bowl party food needs to go?
You know, my ex-partner, my ex-Kyle Madsen, Sean Thomas, turned me on to something I also do every year as well. I've told you this before. You take hot dogs, cut them in thirds, wrap them in a half a piece of bacon, put a toothpick on them, and then put them in one of those disposable banquet pans. And you throw 2 bags of brown sugar on top, cover it, and cook it at 350 for like 45 minutes. Then you uncover it and cook it for 15 minutes on broil. Oh, just be careful. You have to let them sit for half an hour or you will burn your face off. But bacon-wrapped brown sugared hot dogs, yeah, there's probably some nitrates in there. But damned, it's good. Listen, I know this is obvious, but just get out of here with the veggie plate.
Yeah, dude, it just sits there and makes me feel bad.
It sits there and yells at you like, oh, fatty, have fun with all the other stuff.
Here's a game changer for me because I don't like there's usually some kind of like weird dip in the middle. If there's ranch in the middle, I'll like do carrots and ranch. Game changer for me was hummus. Drop some hummus in the middle there because then I can take chips, I can dip that in there, I can do carrot, and then I can feel better about myself as I drink just a lot of adult sodas. Also, going back to question 1.
Yeah.
I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to this year because, like, for obvious reasons. I go up to Reno. I'm taking with me some fire wings.
I think fire wings, and no joke, like that's a real easy way to cater your Super Bowl party.
Yeah, because we take to the hotel. We have like a cooking utensil, so we will be able to reheat them properly.
You know, I just thought of, you know who I think would have the worst Super Bowl party? Damien. Right?
Hey, I'm not even gonna hate. I've had dinner at Damien's house.
Oh, I'm Kyle. I
hang out with Damien.
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
It was delightful. But the first time I ever went over there was before I was even on this show.
Uh-huh.
And
I've never been there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I've never been to your house, so you know.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah. But he made this like buffalo chickpea dip that was out of this world.
Buffalo chickpea dip.
Yes.
I'm not denying that there can't be vegetarian or vegan foods that are good.
I but
agree.
Dude, you're missing like meatballs.
Right, like an entire
yes,
Super Bowl spread,
right.
and I'm eating celery flakes. Yeah, I'm good, dude. Third down.
Third down.
What percentage of the commercials do you watch?
I try to watch all of them except when Janine in the corners had too much to drink and starts meowing about what she thinks happened in that last play or what Billy did the other day. It's nothing I hate more. I believe every Super Bowl party should have a designated room where everybody shuts up.
Yes.
You should, and I've done that at my house before. The man cave outside, I've actually put a sign that says this is the shut up room, meaning you watch the game, you can cheer, but don't talk. Shut up, especially during the commercials. If you want to be the Super Bowl person that socializes and doesn't really care about the game, you have the entire rest of my house. You have outside. You have all the TVs I have. This room is the shut up room. I want to watch the damn commercials. I don't want to hear about what you did at the workout the other day.
That's why I appreciate our Super Bowl party so much, because it is a room full of people who understand the etiquette.
Right.
They understand that, like, okay, hey, there's stuff going on in the game. Okay, play's over. All right, now we'll talk amongst ourselves. Or if it's, it's a really solid social atmosphere without missing commercials or important things in the game. It's really wonderful. I watch 84% of the commercials because that's also
very specific.
That's also prime. Get more food on the plate.
Use the bathroom.
Restroom.
Yeah.
Replenish drinks or what have you.
Do you DVR the Puppy Bowl?
No.
I do. The Puppy Bowl is must-see TV in my household for about 3 months afterwards for my kids.
I agree.
Fourth down.
Fourth down.
Gambling, does it help or hinder your Super Bowl? I'm saying experience. I'm not saying that word on the radio.
It depends on if I'm winning. It really, truly does. It depends on if I'm winning. If I'm winning, it absolutely enhances it. But if I'm taking one team minus 4.5 and they're up, 7, the other team's got the ball, and I'm looking field goal.
Sweating it out.
I think it enhances it. I do. Listen, please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-800-GAMBLER.
But I think gambling enhances everything. It really does. Try it today. Not that I'm encouraging gambling, but hang out with your friends today and take a handful of pebbles. Not Fred Flintstone's kid, but actual pebbles off the ground. Put a cup 10 feet away from you, and do a thing where everybody takes ones out of their pocket. And every pebble you make that's $1. Everybody else has to give you. Play the game for 5 minutes. You will take the dumbest game ever and turn it into a crap-talking yell fest.
Yes.
Much like this show.
Yes. Yeah, I like doing the side props, who will score the first touchdown, which team will punt first.
Yeah.
I love doing stuff like that. And you win a couple, you lose a couple. It's just kind of... It's a fun thing, and it gives you something else to root for. There are not a lot of things more fun than when you have player X to score the first touchdown, and then they do it, and it's such a fun feeling. And I don't bet, I don't put down a ton of money, but even a small amount, it's yes, victory for me,
right?
It's you won, and you're not even playing in the game.
We got to take a break.
Yeah, we do.
But I will tell you, I know somebody who a few years ago started having Super Bowl parties at his house. And before the Super Bowl party, one thing
Does this person make different kinds of deviled eggs?
This person, he would put on the invitation, you are strongly encouraged to bring $1 bills.
Okay.
And then he would go and get $101 bills before the game. Mm-hmm. Lay out a sign with all these cool little props and the odds underneath. And what he would do is people would sign up. You could bet $5 max.
Okay.
$5 was the max. We're not trying to get rich here. And then he'd be the bank, and you would just get instant payouts. No VIG or anything. You're not making
that's awesome.
Just instant payouts. People would sign up. You put your name underneath it, which side you were on, and then after it happened, when it would happen, everybody would be like, oh! And then they come and you collect. You go around with the
very fun.
It's a very fun way to do a Super Bowl party. I should try it sometime. But
you definitely should. That's a great idea.
Kings versus Hawks, and I want to get into more of the Super Bowl stuff. We got a lot of ideas, and I always love that for food. And we need to get into best Super Bowl commercials as well. It's The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Kings got back in the win column last night, 135-113 over the Atlanta Hawks. Harry Giles had a huge game. He had a career-high 20 points and 7 rebounds in just 21 minutes. Buddy Hield had 18. Bogdan Bogdanovic added 16 off the bench. The Kings get a couple days off now. They host the 76ers on Saturday. Elsewhere in the NBA last night, the Celtics blew out the Hornets 126-94. The Bulls got win number 12, 105-89 over the Heat. Dennis Smith Jr. had a triple-double at Madison Square Garden to help lift the Mavs over the Knicks 114-90. The Wizards beat the Pacers 107-89. Karl Anthony Towns hit a buzzer beater to lift the Timberwolves over the Grizzlies 99-97.
Hey, dude, what'd you say Dennis Smith did?
Hit a triple-double.
He did?
Yes.
I thought Dennis Smith was garbage and got completely screwed this year when
he did.
Yeah,
he did.
He got.
Yeah. He only had 15 assists and 10 boards and 15 points last night.
I thought he couldn't play.
Yeah, no, he's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
What was funny was ESPN's little, we're going to run out of time here, but ESPN, so Dennis Smith Jr. had a triple-double.
Yeah.
And that was the stat line they showed, but then their video with the thumbnail was Luka Doncic has big debut at Madison Square Garden.
Not enough Luka,
cool,
Bleacher
man.
Report.
No, it was ESPN.
Oh, okay.
The Nuggets beat the Pelicans 105-99. Blazers over the Jazz 132-105.
Yeah.
It's 7:38. Plan now to watch a big game at Sammy's Restaurant, the best food and drink inside Stone's Gambling Hall, I-80 at Antelope Road.
Okay.
It's The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
All right, fun segment here. We'll have Sam Anick at 8:05. We'll be all over the place as usual. Welcome into the program. I want to remind you, you can watch us thanks to the Sacramento Republic Football Club and Jiffy Lube at KHTK.com. Also, all our shows archived video-wise in the KHTK YouTube channel. Just go to KHTK.com. You'll see the little player right there. Hit it. Phone, tablet, desktop, laptop, Mac, Microsoft, Linux, whatevs. You can text us at 441140. That's the Jiffy Lube text line. And the phone line, 800-920-1140, brought to you by our good friends at Fire Wings. Cleaning up the text line a little bit because a lot of texts came in during the break. You guys are on fire today. From the 916, Dave, any trade rumors you know about? Yes. From the 530, if the Wizards say we would take the expiring contracts of Kufis and Randolph, but you have to trade Bogey for Otto Porter, do you do it?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Bogdanovich is just too good.
Yeah, he's more of a playmaker than Porter is. I'm not sure how much of a ball handler Otto Porter is or can be. It's worth noting, though, that Otto Porter is younger than Bogdan Bogdanović.
Yeah, right? He is. By, what, a year or two?
A year. It might even be months. But, yeah, he's younger than Bogdan. But what Bogdan does on the second unit with his ability to run the offense and shoot, he's a good player.
From the 209, Dave, please elaborate on the dollars prop bet for the Super Bowl. It sounds fun. I don't understand what does that mean, Kyle?
The thing that your buddy did where he encouraged you to bring
it's simple. Get your prop bets together. Just look them up online. Who will score the first touchdown? How long will the national anthem be? It's all in fun. Then when people are coming over to your house, just encourage them all to bring ones, and you're the bank, so you get a big stack of ones. A good way for you to possibly make money or lose money, but it's $1. Max bet's $5.
And if you Google Super Bowl prop bets, you'll find pages of them.
Exactly.
Just pick the ones you like.
And most of them are 2 to 1, 3 to 1. So what, you're paying out $10 here, and you're also getting money back.
And the other thing that I would encourage you to do in this scenario, if you are going to do that, which we don't encourage.
No, we don't.
But if you are,
1-800-GAMBLER.
Have the rules down, have it down from, if it's something during the game, does Tony Romo say this? Have it be from kickoff to final whistle. Make sure that is established beforehand.
I can tell you right now, and you're 100% right, Kyle, bringing $21 bills to a Super Bowl, even if it's just you and your buddy, I'm going to blow him up here, but a long time ago when the Kings were in the playoffs, there is a certain sports director for a television station who's still employed to this day there, and it was a Kings Timberwolves series. And he and I would bring 31s every game, and we'd just sit across from each other, and we'd simply be I'd be all right, next free throw is going to be made by the Timberwolves. And he'd either say yay or nay. If he said yay, we'd throw $1 in the middle. Next rebound is going to be Kevin Garnett. Give me 3 to 1 odds. Yay or nay. Dude, that makes watching games, if you do it, so fun, which we don't suggest you do it.
I could never, what you're describing specifically, I could never do that with my favorite team in a playoff game.
Really?
Never. I'm so locked in, dude.
We were so locked. I mean, you're still locked in.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not implying that you weren't paying attention, but my stress level is so high that I don't think I would be able to, they'd be like, hey, next rebound, LeBron James, 2 to 1. And I'd be like, dude, shut up.
I got to watch the game. Yeah.
I can't multitask like that.
From the 916.
Not a good fan. But
how do you win? If the prop hits, do you get your money back or what? Well, yeah, let's say Kyle's at my house and it's 3 to 1 that James White will get the first touch of the game from Tom Brady when they have possession. And if Kyle decides to put $5 on that James White's going to get the touch, if James does, I got to pay him $15. If James doesn't, then I keep Kyle's $5. Now, when you have multiple people doing that, you can win a lot and lose a lot, but that's why you make the max bet $5. You make the max bet $1. Whatever you want to do. Have people bring rolls of quarters. Make it a quarter bet. Doesn't matter. Have everybody put $1 in the pot. Let's see. Super Bowl.
The Kings, by the way, last year won 27 games.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that last hour.
I'm sorry.
And they've won 26 so far this year. I think they're going to surpass that. Knock on wood. Going back to food, a lot of people, we lost a lot of food texts, and I don't want to get lost in this, but from the 916, this is Marty in Philly. You know what goes with deviled eggs? Crab fries. So easy. Bake frozen crinkle cut fries like the package says. Remove and portion out the baked fries on individual plates. Top each plate of fries with homemade aioli sauce. That's mayonnaise and something. Just for you guys. That's a fancy way of saying a mayonnaise sauce. Then top each pile of fries with blue crab meat, the fresh frozen kind. So good.
That's a very Philly thing that Marty just said.
Yeah, it really is. Marty, I would have to ask you, though, would you need to I feel like that's almost a great recipe, but I feel like you need to do everything you said and then lightly sprinkle some cheese on top. I'd be worried about binding the meat to the fry. So when you pick up said fry,
yeah, you don't want the meat to fall off.
The meat's going to fall off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you sprinkle some cheese on top, like a light cheese, you could eat that with a fork. I don't know. I'm not eating crab fries. Give me tater tots. Give me good tater tot recipes.
You give me any form of loaded tots.
Yeah.
I'm all the way in there. There is a restaurant in Sacramento that does breakfast fries, and it's French fries with like bacon, cheese, and a fried egg on top.
Yeah,
and
that's
buddy,
fine.
Let me tell you,
that's another way of
really A+.
I mean, really, it's a potato plugged into a breakfast. Whether
Right,
it's a hash brown, home fries.
Yeah.
Well, home fries are stupid.
Oh, disagree.
I'm not in
I'm a hard
Get out of
disagree
here
there.
with home fries. From the 209, don't bake fries, air fry frozen fries, unreal good. The air fryer to me is the most overrated kitchen item we've seen in the last 5 years. I have one. I have a good air fryer. I know how to use it. I've used it. I can do it in my oven. Just get off me with air. And by the way, it doesn't taste as good as fried. Sorry. I know it's healthier, but get out of here with, I put it in my air fryer, and the French fries, it tastes just like they were actually fried. No, they don't. No, they actually don't. Give me it. Come in here and taste test.
Right.
Taste test me fried or air fried. I'm going to nail it every single time.
I had never had fried frozen French fries before, and then my girlfriend's dad made some for dinner one night.
Oh.
Life-changing.
Fantastic. You have an actual fryer at your house? It's not good for your waistline or your heart.
No.
But throw tater tots, French fries, jalapeno poppers, potato skins, if you really want to have fun. Wings. But why would you do that when you just go to Fire Wings with 21 different flavors to choose from?
Absolutely.
Something else with the Super Bowl here. No, let's save that. I want to get into the Kings. I don't want to screw around here.
I have some Kings stats I've been working
I'd
on.
like to hear them.
So you mentioned a lot the Kings' 8th toughest schedule.
Yeah,
and how
tied
they're
for
game
8th.
over 500.
That's right.
Do you know what their record is versus winning teams this year?
I do not.
7-20.
It's 7-20, Kyle.
They're 19-5 against losing teams, though.
And when you
which
say
is
losing,
encouraging.
that's below 500.
Below 500, right?
Correct.
Which is encouraging, considering like they're beating the teams worse than them, but they're not quite at that level where they're going to consistently night in and night out beat playoff teams.
Right.
I think we knew that. I think that's something that we've known for a while.
They're beating the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yes.
They're losing
Which
to
is
the
not
teams.
something they've done in the past.
That's right. And I know we don't have it, and we could take the time to look, and I don't want to get sidetracked, but I'll bet you those 5 losses to the below 500 teams, with a couple exceptions, were all like semi-500 teams that are better than like a Utah or New Orleans. I believe one of those losses is to New Orleans in New Orleans.
Right,
Well,
just like to start the year.
Right. I'm trying to think. There's one other game I'm forgetting, but I know the loss to Phoenix was an absolute stab.
They lost to Memphis.
Yeah, and that's tough. I want to say there's maybe 2 games this year that stand out. Phoenix is one, and I'm forgetting the other. Was it Utah maybe? Was it Utah at home after they – it was Utah at home after they had just beaten Utah on the road, and I think Utah didn't have Donovan Mitchell in that game. I think that and the Phoenix game in Phoenix when they blew that lead, those are the 2 games that stand out to me that I go, they should have won that game.
And the game in Minnesota where they sat their guys?
The schedule lost, and a lot of people got pissed off at that. I don't know that they win that game. I don't know that they win or that they lose, and I don't know that game didn't help them, inform them on winning more games in the future. That's what's tough to say. But you're right. Those numbers are fantastic.
Here's another thing.
Well, the below 500 is.
Last year, the Kings against the East went 13-17. They're already 12-6 against the East this year. Last year against the West, they went 14-38.
They've already matched that, I believe.
14-19 against the West.
That's pretty crazy.
So they're sub 500 against the better conference, which, works out considering their record against winning teams. But they were 14-38 all of last year.
And not for nothing, but just a quick look, 26-25 gets you the 7 seed currently in the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
So what has been the biggest surprise? Forget the record. That's the easy answer. But what has been the biggest surprise for you Kings fans about the team this season? I asked that question on Twitter, and some people responded via text, Kyle. One was, a lot of people are very surprised Dave Yeager's playing such an up-tempo style. They didn't see that coming. Buddy Hield's jump, did not see that coming. De'Aaron Fox's jump, didn't expect that much. Justin Jackson, you mentioned that. Becoming a prime, a guy they can go to a little bit. Didn't see that coming. Harry Giles contributing. I think a lot of people saw that coming, maybe not as much. It's tough to nail down the big. I would have to say I think Buddy Hield becoming a borderline all-star. I feel like he's a year away from being an all-star if he continues on this track.
Yeah, I mentioned it really early in the year that his ball handling looked much improved.
Well, he had frying pan hands.
Yeah.
And he's still not Mr. Ball Handler, but
no, he's
so
not.
much better.
He's not Kyrie Irving by any stretch, but he can lead the break. He can create his own shot. Where I felt like watching him last year, I was like, is this his ceiling? Like, he's mostly a spot-up shooter, and that's kind of going to be it. But no, he has improved his game dramatically, and he is shooting the lights out this year.
I also think we underrate a little bit of his defense, too.
Yeah, he at least hustles.
He hustles, and nobody's really a lockdown defender, but you can see signs. You can see signs. I look forward to games in the future when De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, and Harry Giles and Otto Porter are all locked down on defense. And the Kings are holding opponents where we're walking away from games saying, wow, that was a huge defensive effort from this team. You can see flashes of it when they're locked in and engaged.
Saw it against Memphis with De'Aaron Fox on Mike Conley. And just even that Memphis game was a great example of what happens when they do lock in all the way defensively. It felt like Memphis down the stretch, every time they needed a bucket, the Kings got a deflection in the lane. They stole a kick out. They got the one-on-one stop with De'Aaron Fox. Like, they just did everything right defensively. But they have these stretches, man, where it's just like...
it's a layup drill.
Yeah.
The front office being stable, some people are pointing out, is a huge surprise, for the most part. For the most part, it's been stable. Saw a nice shot of Vlade Divac and Brandon Williams talking in the tunnel towards the end of the game last night. Willie Cauley-Stein not being traded yet. I don't think that's the biggest surprise. A lot of people pointing out, too, Frank Mason's handles last night. People making a big deal of that. It's the very end of the game. Clock was running out. And Frank was just doing some crazy dribbling. And they were defending him. It's like, can we just dribble the ball? That's when you can tell you got two teams that don't really know they're not really used to winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, there's 4 seconds left and one team's up by 20. You can stop. That's when you do the handshakes and hugs.
Right.
That's what you do in that. You don't dribble around and you don't defend Frank. I'm not ripping Frank, by the way. They were getting in his face, defending him. It's like, dude, and if he shoots the ball, then you knock him on his ass. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't cry about it. So if a team's up 20 and the dude goes up and shot clock's there, he doesn't have to shoot it, nothing like that, and he goes up and you want to hard foul him, I'm all in on that. A lot of people aren't. I'm all in on that. Sam Amy's going to join us in the next segment here. We got to talk to him about this Anthony Davis situation. What the hell is Del Demps doing? We will also, Sam and we've visited on this every few months. I'll bring it up again, the future of the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans. What else?
It might be the old Orleans Pelicans in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
I see what
Do you get what I'm saying?
Biggest surprise this year, Costa Koof is still wearing 2011 blue Hyperdunks.
Great point.
It's a big win last night. Big win coming not because the Hawks were great. Big win because they came back from the road trip. They took care of business. But Kyle, I think the biggest thing there is just the continued maturation of Harry Giles and Marvin Bagley. We focus on Fox. We focus on Buddy. We focus on Bogey. If Bagley and Giles end up being bona fide NBA starters / borderline all-stars, you saw flashes last night of a style of basketball that makes me absolutely giddy.
Yeah.
Behind the back, having fun, playing for your teammates. It's the type of basketball like that, which is why I think it's okay to think that the Sacramento Kings could contend for an NBA championship in the next 5 years if they don't get injured. And I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Most people do. I don't think so. When we get back, Sam Amick of The Athletic will join us next right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.